American Legion Auxiliary proudly honors Marsha Four as their 2019 Woman of the Year in recognition of her lifetime commitment to men and women veterans in need.
After graduating from nurses training at St. Vincent's School of Nursing in Indianapolis, I was recruited and joined in the Army Nurse Corps. And my first assignment was at Fort Campbell, but then was sent to Vietnam within about 6 months. While there, I served with the 18th Surgical Hospital, a MUST unit, first at Camp Evans and then at Quan Tri. My assignment was the intensive care recovery room while I was on duty and the emergency room while I was off duty. Having that experience in the military is what set me on the path to working with veterans.
Like many of the nurses who joined the military right from nurses training, few had any concept of what they'd experience in Vietnam.
We weren't trained for that type of environment, first of all, and you cannot know what war is like until you've been in one. The requirements that were put upon us were in many ways beyond our capacity when we first got there. But we learned very quickly, and I will tell you, at the end of that year, we were the best nurses God ever made. Working in civilian nursing after Vietnam, I really didn't consider or even think about myself as a veteran until I was introduced to the Vietnam Women's Memorial Project in Washington, dedicated to the women who served during the Vietnam War.
Soon after that, Marsha became active in Vietnam Veterans of America, culminating in her position as National Vice President.
With my first work in Vietnam Veterans of America and through the chapter, it was really brought to light how many homeless veterans we actually had in this country. And because of that, I went and with another friend to a program in New Jersey and came back to Philadelphia and organized the Philadelphia Stand Down in 1994. And actually, the remnants of it are still in existence today. I was the executive director for that program for 5 years. During that time, I worked with the Philadelphia Veterans Multi-Service Center. And at that time also, they asked me to help them write some grants to provide services exclusively to homeless veterans.
Her local success with veterans soon became recognized on a national level with VVA, as well as the Veterans Administration, where she served as chair of its advisory committee on women veterans.
Through the work with Vietnam Veterans of America, I was appointed twice to the VA Advisory Committee on Women Veterans, which offered great insight to the Secretary on the issues that we found that were necessary to be addressed by the VA on behalf of women veterans. Through this experience, I also remained with Vietnam Veterans of America and became a member of their board of directors and then their vice president. Through all of this, I've been connected to Government Affairs Division of the organization and the Women Veterans and Homeless Veterans Committees, having testified several times on behalf of both.
Marsha's service to our veterans hasn't gone unnoticed.
The most important thing about Marsha Four is she has a great heart, and she is driven not to exceed or achieve great things in the world for herself. It has always been for others.
With Marsha being a great leader, she took the opportunity to grab me by the hand and lead me and teach me what it was to be a leader and to work with homeless veterans. She taught me the valuable lessons in dealing with homeless women veterans in particular.
I not only know Marsha as a talker, but I know her as a doer. Over the 16 years that we worked together, Marsha not only wrote the grants for, but implemented many programs. The Perimeter, which is a day program for homeless veterans, 95-bed transitional living program for homeless veterans on the grounds of Coatesville, VA, and in 2005, the largest homeless women veterans program, the Mary E. Walker House. And I must say, all of those programs are still open and active today.
Beginning with her career as an Army nurse in Vietnam, Marsha has made a difference, and she wants you to know you can too.
When I started Philadelphia Stand Down, I recognized that I was just one person working and trying to get into a system that really hadn't organized itself around homeless veterans. And I had to make them believe. And unless it's in your heart, and unless you believe that you can make a difference, and trust me, one person can make a difference. And if they are joined by others who believe too, the impact is insurmountable. It can make the difference between life and death for many veterans.
Thank you, Marsha, for your lifetime of dedicated service to our men and women veterans.